Hi guys, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by. Welcome to my channel where I focus on early game and mid game stuff. The portal is glowing today, oftentimes reason for great or bad days. In this case, the portal is glowing because we have a champion chase tournament going on for Donatello. The 2x sacred we are having alongside April O'Neil 10 times event are not really going to be too interesting for me personally, because I'm not planning on pulling sacred shards. Different reasons for that. I'm gonna go into that a bit more when we talk about the Champion Chase tournament and how to get points for the Champion Chase tournament. I have a few ancient shards, a few void shards. I'm still not quite sure which one of these I'm going to open, but that I will save for later. Champion Chase, 3 days, interesting. The points for Donatello for the 10 fragments are at 3,000. Now, I haven't been too crazy active and I haven't played Raid consistently over the last few months. I'm not really sure where the points have been in the past. They definitely have been lower, they definitely have been higher. I think 3,000 seems reasonable to me. Also, there is fragments here, but we're not looking into that. We won't be able to compete for those. Yeah, but 3,000 points is what we are going to be aiming at, because I do want to complete this champion chase in order to be safe for the future events. You know, we don't know where the summon rush is going to be and what kind of points we're going to have to reach there. So the topic of today, I'm going to pull shards, obviously. But the topic of today is going to be how we can cheat this Champion Chase tournament and get easy points for this Champion Chase tournament. I think one is, well, most are widely known. I just want to talk about these really briefly anyways. Well, the easiest way is to get epic and legendary champions. How do you do that? Well, if you have some fragment champions left from your last events, that's definitely going to give you pretty great points. I'm gonna pull, summon Gom, which I'm very happy about because he's a great champion. I actually thought about summoning him earlier, but then I luckily was able to hold my horses, and I'm gonna get 350 points from that. Then we have one of the most important fusions in this game, actually, at least for free-to-play players, and that's Broadmoor. I'm going to be able to do the complete fusion. That's going to give me 200 points here, 550, and then 300, 600, 900 points from both of these fusions that I'm doing. So that's already going to get me 1/3 of the way, which is pretty great. Then, unfortunately, there is nothing more going on fragment-wise or fusion-wise. I'm looking to do Relic Keeper at some point, obviously, but I don't think that that is really something I'm looking into. Even Justicar, we have to do him for the missions, and I'm gonna wait for that because he only gives me 50 points. And then Razin and stuff like this is not really happening yet on my account. So where else can we get points for this Champion Chase, and why am I not opening my sacreds? There's one thing that I think is quite useful and sometimes overlooked. Champion training can actually give you quite a bit of points for a champion tournament, Champion Chase tournament. Just because by doing champion training, you will get those rare champions from campaign. You will get a couple of the common and uncommon champions from campaign, and that's not going to give you crazy points. But it is going to give you a few, like in my experience, and depending on how hard you go for this champion training event, it's at least 200 points, you know, or 300 points, which is pretty nice, especially alongside opening mystery shards. Now, I have opened a few mystery shards and therefore have quite a few of these 1-star champions who I'm going to level up and rank up, but they are definitely not going to be enough to finish this champion training tournament, so I'm also going to get some mystery shards and open some mystery shards. So there is coming points from these two places as well. Unfortunately, that is kind of it. I just think that champion training is oftentimes overlooked. If you really get 200 to 300 points from the champion training event. That's basically a sacred shard, you know? And I think people oftentimes, they open their shards on a Friday, they go for the threshold, they go for the 10 fragments in this case, and then do champion training over the weekend, getting 200 to 300 points maybe, depending on how hard they go for champion training. And that's basically one sacred shard, like I said, because opening a sacred shard is probably going to give you an epic, and that is 250 points. So just be a bit mindful about this. The 250 points and the high chance to get an epic is also the reason why I'm not opening my sacred shards on champion chase tournaments, usually. Even, well, sometimes when I have a lot of shards and there is a 2-time sacred going on, then sometimes, but not very often. Because when I open these 4 sacred shards on a summon rush in 1 week's time, that's going to give me 2,000 guaranteed points. On this champion chase, on the other hand, I'm very, very likely, even though it's a 2 times event, very likely going to get 4 epics, and that is going to give me 1,000 points. So the return is just much worse. And sacred shards are really the best way to finish a summon rush. So that's the reason I'm not going for a sacred shard, and instead either going for ancient shards or void shards. It's probably going to be ancient shards, just because it is the shard type that is easiest to get. Now, if we don't get any epics on this, then that's going to be a problem. Because summoning rares is going to give so little points. Like summoning 10 ancient shards, that's 100 points. And I mean, pulling all of them would mean 470 points, and that's not going to get us anywhere. So I'm going to be a bit mindful about this. I'm not going to pull crazy amounts on this event, or on this day. 8% chance of getting an epic. I will pull a couple of ancients though. We can get Gom for the 350 points. Like I said, I am going to get Broadmoor as well. There we go. I like this champion, so he's definitely amazing for faction wars. I don't know if I'm going to use him anywhere else. And then we can pull a couple of ancient shards, and then I'll just see where I am going to be point-wise. But I am going to be very careful not to overdo it. I'm definitely going to stop at 2,000 points latest. You know, because I can get Broadmoor, and then there is champion training going on. Alright, let's get into the ancients. Let's hope for anything epic, you know. I'm very much in this for the points, so as long as I'm getting epics, I'm going to be happy. If we talk about epics that I would like to have, I think Mordecai might be one of the most wanted for me right now, just because he is an epic HP burner. And that is something that I can really use on this account for Hydra and for Spider. I wouldn't say no to a Geomancer, but yeah. Yeah, let's go into it and just hope for the best. Oh, I don't have enough slots. Sorry guys, 1 second. All right, here we go. Second try. Let's go. Let's hope for some epics. Oh, there is an epic. Jarang, interesting. Second epic, that's amazing. Third epic. Fourth epic. What is happening? That's 1,000 points. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. And also, let's actually look at these. Dur the Hungerer is going to be amazing for faction wars. He's a reviver. Fenshi, not too crazy about this champion. I mean, you could use him for Fire Knight. Each hit has a, I'm not going to book him, 30% to place decreased speed. That's all right. Another 3-time hitter. Each hit, 50% decrease in turn meter. That's also all right. And then each hit has a 5% plans to put poisons for 3 turns. Interesting. All right, but yeah, he's not too crazy. I don't know Bovos yet. Was he part of a fusion? Attacks all enemies, increase attack and crit rate, removes the random debuff, increase in crit rate on all allies. Decrease crit rate and increase crit rate and crit damage. All right, not too crazy about him. And then we have Jarang. He is old school, I think. He's one of the, he has been in the game when the game started, I think, but don't quote me on this. But this is a crazy lucky shard pull. This is an insanely lucky shard pull. If I had pulled 4 Sacreds, that's basically what I would have probably gotten. Okay, so I thought about what to do next, and I was actually kind of thinking about pulling a Void or a couple of Void Shards, just because I would really like a Cold Heart, you know? And we are going to get rares from pulling these, but Void Shards are hard to get, so I think I'll just hold on to these for a 2x event at some point, because I am going to get Cold Heart at some point, and Epics are still more useful. So I think I'll just go for another 10 pull on the Ancients. We need at least 600 points. It's very unlikely that we are going to get 2 Epics again on this pull, so let's just go into it. And Ancients, it's easiest to get Ancients. It's always easiest to get Ancients. I feel like this is going to be all rares now, just because we were so lucky. Ooh, there is another Epic. That's pretty great. Just because I was so lucky on the last one, I felt like this wasn't going to give me anything at all. And now, nothing else to talk about here. Rockbreaker, I think he can be interesting for Arena. But that's kind of it. I'm not planning on using him though. Probably. So 27 Ancients left. We need one more Epic for sure. So let's go in with a one. No, Aethel. The one pulls? The single pulls. The single openings. That sounds better than the one pulls. That sounds weird. Right, another rare. Flashmonger. Nothing too crazy. Come on, one more Epic and then we're done. I never like these singles. They are always blue. They are always blue. 8% chance. Come on, Plarium. Ah. That's the annoying part about being efficient, by the way. You have to sit here and pull single Ancient Shards, whilst you could just make a 10 pull and be done with it. Epic, finally. Ooh, Jarek. He was OG for Clan Boss. He was so strong for Clan Boss. At the beginning of the game, ally protection, increased defense, even though it was a 4-turn, then a decreased attack on the A1, and continuous heals when one of your allies loses 20% of its max HP from a single hit. He was amazing for Clan Boss in the beginning. He's still great for Faction Wars, so I might use him for that. We will see. That's pretty much it from me. I'm very happy with the results. I pulled 27 Ancients, and that finished me this event. I didn't expect that at all. That was quite lucky. 2,000 points, yeah, pretty much on point where I wanted to be. Now I can go into champion training. I can go into the Broadmoor fusion, and I will probably end up at around 3,000 points. If I don't, I'm just gonna pull maybe, you know, one Void Shard or couple of Ancients. All right, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for stopping by. I wish you luck on your shard pulls. I wish you luck trying to complete this fusion. All the best to you. Until then, bye. Until whenever. Bye.